So what I'm about to share, this came to mind when I watched this because it reminds me of I Am Legend, where they show for a brief moment that the Lake Michigan had dried up. You know, which is no surprise to all you guys that are viewing. You've seen it. Um, their plans. You've heard them speak probably on this before too. But I just want to let you know that they're not stopping it. They're going along with this, and this is even more the reason to go back to the Most High, because whatever they have planned for the water source to dry up, they make fun of it with that Simpson episode when was it Lisa Simpson becomes president, where she's like, what do we got to do now? One of the things that they had to do was replace the ocean's water, right? Example, you'll see pictures like this posted and they'll say, "Oh, it's because of global warming," right? That lakes will go from looking like this. Um, there we go. All right, that lakes will go from looking like this to before and after. Here's my problem with that. Growing up in Florida and growing up there in the Gulf Coast, we were always told that the water levels were going to rise in 20 years, and where we were living would now be underwater. Miami would be gone, Jacksonville would be gone. You would really have to move inland to like Ocala, or places like that to be able to live. That most of that would be underwater, the glaciers are melting, things of that nature. So think about this for a moment. You, on one hand, give us glaciers melting, crashing off, falling, and panda bears losing their place to live. You tell us that that's going to make the ocean levels rise. Well, the ocean levels still haven't risen. We're still, Tampa's still there. Newport Richie is still there. Port Charlotte is still there. Miami is still where they said it was going to be. Now, this was 20 years ago. I remember, when this is about the time my dad did, like, oh, let's get up and move out of there and move to South Carolina. Hillbilly hell. Anyways, um, we, he took their advice and, moved and, you know, got out of there. And I'm like, well, doesn't that mean England should be gone? Because, I mean, that's an island. That land should have sunk by now. The Jamaicas, the Cubas, the Barbados, the St. Kitts, that should all be gone. There should not be any more Panama Canal. It should be covered up with water. If you're telling me the glaciers are melting, the ocean's rising, how can at the same time lakes be drying up? Unless what's really going on, when they give you images like this, it's fractioning, right? Fractioning, I'm sorry. And the water source that they're using, right, is what's depleting these rivers, these lakes, and things of that nature. Another question: when you're removing oil from the ground, right, what seeps back in there to fill the oil now that it's been removed from underground? What fills in that gap? So I just want you to think about that, because I want you to come up with a scenario, right? What could cause lakes to be there and dry up, but the water source is not ending up in the ocean? The oceans still are not rising like they say that they would have. So
And here's the other thing, because I also, I'm in a lot of meetings on foreign policy. For years and generations, wars have been fought over oil. In a short matter of time, they will be fought over water. So when we think about building up our economy around our infrastructure on something like water policy, it's literally about jobs. It's about the fundamental source of life that Tammy Duckworth was talking about. It will sustain life. And it's about strengthening up our nation around a commodity that is a precious commodity.